Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our Roots online service. Today we are continuing our series called Love Hate. We'll be talking about using love as our filter when we interact with others. So before we start, I want to encourage you to fill out a Connect card or a prayer request on the link above. You can even ask your host to pray for you right now with the live prayer link. Hope you guys enjoy the service, and I'll see you all after the message. Roots online service starts right now.
Darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know. Oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide. I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. I got one thing. This ain't God that never fails. Will not fail me now. He will not fail me now. choose to praise, to glorify, glorify the name of all names. That nothing can stand against, and I choose to praise, to glorify, glorify the name of all names. That nothing can stand against. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh, yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is lifted all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will for all my days. Oh, yes, I will. You were the Word at the beginning, one with God, the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. You didn't want heaven without us. So Jesus, you brought heaven down. My sin was great, your love was greater. What could separate us now? What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. You silenced the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no rival. You have no equal.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to week 2 of our Love-Hate series. Last week we talked about gossip and how we need to stop ourselves from letting any rotten words come out of our mouths. And so this week we're going to be talking about how love can be our filter towards other people. So have you ever felt thankful that one of your friends gave you a heads up on something? Even if it was awkward for them? It was uncomfortable at the time, but ultimately you knew that they said it because they were looking out for you. Something like, yo bro, you got food in your teeth, you gotta get rid of that stuff. Or, hey man, your fly is down. Or maybe, hey, you got ketchup on your forehead and I'm not sure how, but I'm just looking out for you. Or the person you're talking about is right behind you. Like, right behind you, stop talking about them. So we've all had those moments, right? Where someone's looking out for you and no one likes hearing that they have food on their shirt or toilet paper stuck in their shoe or up their dress. But when someone cares enough about us to look out for us and save us from future embarrassment, we're definitely grateful. Now, let's think about this from the other side for a second. Have you ever felt like you should really say something to someone else, but you weren't sure how to go about saying it? If you think about it, telling your friend that they have food on their face is one thing, but we all know there's bigger stuff too, like talking to a friend about a relationship that you don't think is good for them, or maybe confronting someone about decisions that they're making lately that aren't great. Or maybe it's speaking up about something that you know is going to get them in trouble. Well, those feel completely different than just like someone saying, hey, like you got food on your face. But speaking up in situations like this is beyond difficult. Like if your brother or sister started hanging out with people who convinced them to do things that aren't right, what are you supposed to say? If your best friend is making decisions that their parents wouldn't be okay with, is it really your place to say something about it? So we usually just avoid the conversation altogether, right? But why? Why do we just avoid the conversation? Maybe we don't want to ruin a friendship or make someone mad. Maybe we're doing or have done the same thing in the past, so we don't feel like we have the right thing or we don't have the right to say anything. Maybe we don't think the other person will actually listen to us. Maybe we just don't know what to say or how to say it. And for some of you, the situation is opposite. You have no problem telling people exactly how you see it. You're not shy about speaking up at all. And the problem with that, though, is that you may not always be speaking up in a way that causes people to actually want to listen to you. If you've ever wrestled with any of this stuff, the good news is this: you are not alone. We've all been there. We all know what it feels like to know that we need to say something, yet find ourselves unsure of what to say or how to say it. What if we could learn a way to approach difficult conversations? What if there was a way to be helpful and kind when we choose to speak up? What if there was a way to have difficult conversations that end up bringing about something good? So here's the thing. No one wants to be known as a hater. Nobody wants to be seen as the I'm so amazing friend who talks about everything everyone else does wrong. Instead, we want our reputation to stand out for the right reasons, for how we love and treat other people. So when it comes to being a friend who looks out for others, how do we make sure that we handle it in the right way? Last time we met, we talked about how we should be all about love. Who wouldn't want to have a reputation for loving others? No matter how tough we want to appear or how trendy hating on others is, we all know it's better to be known for loving others. But if love is the goal, then how are we supposed to handle it when somebody is literally doing something bad or dangerous or just plain dumb? Maybe we should just avoid them. And this seems to be the way that we're supposed to behave. We're all just supposed to be okay with everyone else's choices because it's their life and who are we to judge? And I think deep down we all know that isn't always the case, especially when it comes to people closest to us. So what do we do then? Paul actually talked about this very thing in a letter to a church in a region called Galatia. It's where modern day Turkey is now. Paul gave insight on this topic. In Galatians 6:1, it says, "Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself." So Paul is saying that if the Galatians have any friends who share the same values but slip up and do something that is harmful, their responsibility is to help that person get back on the right track. In other words, he's saying that you and I should actually go further than just saying something in a conversation. We should help someone get back to their best place that they can be in, on track with what God says is best. Now, there's a lot Paul isn't saying here too. He isn't saying that you are personally responsible for making sure your friends make wise choices. And he isn't saying you should put yourself in a position that sets you up for failure when you're trying to help your friends. Wisdom in these conversations and situations is a must. The point is, according to Paul, with humility and gentleness, you and I can help people who are struggling with making poor decisions get back on the right path. Paul continues in verse 2, "Share each other's burdens, and in this way obey the law of Christ." So how do we help them get back on track? By carrying each other's burdens. Think about it this way. In the world of fitness training, there's a person known as a spotter. A spotter is there to help when the weight gets too heavy and the person doing the lifting is no longer able to lift the weight on their own. When that happens, the spotter carries the weight too. They pick it up themselves. And they carry the burden of the barbell along with the person doing the lifting. That is what we're supposed to be doing to help people get back on the right path. Paul cared deeply about the people of Galatia, which is why he wrote what he did. He knew that the most loving thing to do isn't always the easiest thing to do, but we owe it to each other to speak up. Because the truth is, we need each other, not just to point out where others may have gotten off track, but to come alongside them and to help them carry the burden of getting back to the place they should be. In other words, Jesus followers must do more than just speak up and point out what's wrong. We must make ourselves available to be spotters in the lives of others, to help make right where things have gone wrong. We don't just point fingers, we share burdens. Again, some of us are like, I'm not afraid to speak up. I don't care what people think of me. And for those of us who feel that way, Paul snuck in 2 words that would be helpful to keep in mind when it comes to having these conversations with others. And he said that we should be gentle and humble. Gentle and humble. Meaning what we say is just as important as how we say it. The loving act is to not sound judgmental, arrogant, or self-righteous. Being kind, helpful, and encouraging shows people that we want to help them out of love. Hard conversations aren't easy, but avoiding a hard conversation isn't loving either. And enjoying a hard conversation by making someone look bad and feel terrible over what they've done isn't loving either. In fact, the conversation isn't really the point. The point is learning to ask this question. Am I showing love in how I'm treating this person? Love pushes us to talk about difficult things. And love also pushes us to talk about the difficult things in a kind and compassionate way towards others. Because that's what love does. It shares the burden by caring about the person who is carrying it and not about just ourselves. So what is this supposed to look like? How can you begin to put this into practice this week? Some of you might be thinking about the friend you need to have a conversation with. You may be seeing them later today or maybe sometime this week. What should you do? Well, if you're going to choose to be known for your love for others, then when it comes to what you say and how you help others, remember this. Let love be your filter. Let love be your filter. You always know how filters work, right? Choose a filter on Snapchat or Instagram, and no matter where you look, it changes what you see. And the same is true for choosing the love filter. No matter what you are looking at other people differently because you are carrying the love filter. You won't be known for love if the way that you handle hard conversations and treat others is not loving. So when it comes to helping friends who are headed in unhealthy directions, you can become known for love by filtering your words and actions through love. When we help someone make a different choice than they have been making, we do it even if it makes us feel totally awkward in the moment. And when we encourage someone else to change his or her behavior, we need to do it in a loving way, not a judgmental way saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, but in a way that says, I want to come and help. And so when we see someone take a step in the right direction, we should encourage them and celebrate them. Why? Because we love them, and that's what love does. So what exactly should a filter of love be applied to? Here are a few ideas. Let love be the filter for your involvement. When you aren't sure if you should get involved in a friend situation, ask yourself, what's the most loving thing I can do? Use this question as a filter for your next step. This provides a gut check for your motives and reminds you that they should be rooted in love. If the loving thing to do is to get involved, to help someone get back on the right path, then you'll know to take a next step. And this can be tricky to figure out, so don't hesitate to ask your life group leader, a parent, or maybe another trusted adult, myself, to help you know how to take the next step. And so once you're sure the most loving thing to do is to get involved, here's the next step. Let love be your filter for your words. Ask yourself, how would I want someone to speak to me? And what would I want him or her to say? When you filter your words through love, you'll stop and make sure that you're not just throwing shade. And this isn't about making you look right and them look wrong. Instead, you'll be letting them know that you're there to carry their burdens with them. Your words can spark hope or cast judgment. If you filter them through love, they'll be words that can help get someone else's life back on track. And once you have a word filter in place, it's time to take even the next step. Let love be the filter for your actions and reactions. If we have friends that are having a hard time keeping their lives headed in the right direction, chances are they won't just need your words, they'll need your help. You have to choose to filter your actions through love, just like you would do with your words. And ask yourself, how would I want someone to live out their love if I were in this situation? Would you want them to keep their phone close in case you got in a tempting situation? Would you want them to pick you up or call a ride for you if you wound up at an unhealthy party? Would you want them to tell an adult or a professional because the help you need goes beyond them? Would you want them to say hard things and follow those words up with accountability and continuous conversations to help you stay on track? So no matter what the situation is, if you filter your actions through love, you'll wind up being known for the way that you love others. And you'll live out Paul's call to help share the burdens of other people. And so when we let love be our filter, we wind up sharing the burdens of those that we love. So imagine how our schools, our friendships, and our families would be different if there were more people filtering their involvement, words, and actions through love. We would say hard things to one another, not out of judgment or hate, saying, oh, I can't believe you, but out of love, saying, I want to help you in this. We would help keep each other from regrets, mistakes, and unnecessary heartbreaks or negative consequences. And who knows, a filter of love might just change the direction of someone else's life for the better forever. So let's be people who let love be our filter so that we can help those we love stay headed in the best direction for their lives. So let me pray. Father, I just pray for every single one who's watching this. I pray if they're thinking of a friend or someone in their head right now that they might need to speak out to, or that they might need to get a little bit more involved in, God. And I pray that we can reach out to them in love, not out of judgment, saying, okay, I need to tell them what to do now, but in a way that we can do it that loves them, that walks alongside them to help them. God, I pray that if it's a friend that we just need to invite over more often so that we can help them be on the right path, that we make that choice and we make the reach out to them to invite them over. If it means speaking out to someone that we are already connected with, maybe even a sibling, God, that we speak out to them and we say, hey, I don't know if this person is a good influence. How can we help you make right choices here in the near future? So God, whatever we say, may it be out of love, may love be our filter, and may we just do amazing things in other people's lives because you are helping us make that love be our filter, Lord. We love you, Jesus, and pray this in your name. Amen. Hey, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week for week 3 and our final week of our Love Hate series. Have a great week. Love you guys. Bye.
Hello again. I'm so glad you could join us today, and I hope this message encouraged you to look at everyone with the filter of love, with your involvement, words, actions, and reactions. I know I personally want to be a light with my love, and I hope you do too. Okay, in case you missed it last week, we have some news about camp, which is coming up in a week and a half. Check out this video from Keziah to learn a little more.
Hey high schoolers! All right, I know we kept you waiting on our decision for summer camp, so here's our big announcement. Our Move Summer Camp is moving to Crossroads! And guess what? It's only going to be $50 for a 3-night camp. It will be July 7th, 8th, and 9th in the evenings. Trust me, this is going to be an awesome experience as our Move Summer Camp becomes Move at Crossroads. I totally get it now. We will have games, prizes, and we'll even have a Chick-fil-A dinner on our last night. Our theme for this Move at experience is the third person, where we talk about the Holy Spirit. We will have worship and testimonies as well. I know many of you don't have plans this summer because most summer plans have been canceled. Miss Rona. So why don't you fill it up with an awesome experience like Move At, where you can grow in your faith and hang out with your friends at Crossroads. Make sure to sign up at iCrossroads.org/roots, click on the high school registration form, and sign up today.
Okay. I know many have been asking questions, so here's a few more details. It is a 3-night camp for only high school, but no sleepover. We will start in the evening and finish around 9:30 every night. You guys can figure out sleeping arrangements with your friends, or you can just go home. So make sure you sign up today. Like, seriously, right after this service, go and sign up. All right, thanks for joining our Roots service today. Before you sign off, stick around and chat with your online host. Answer the questions that will be on the screen and discuss with your Roots family. We will see you back online next week for our final week of the Love Hate series. Bye, guys.